What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got the New York Jets are hopeless. Let's check this out.
Stop listening to you guys. Number one. Number two, gotta be accountable. You know, I gotta play better. That's the key.
Finally, he's not throwing anybody else under the bus, bro. Cause like, damn, he threw Mike Williams under the bus like a couple weeks ago or last week or whatever when they had that game against the Bills, bro. Like, yo,
this is the third week in a row that Rodgers says I have to play them. I have to. Like, how many more of these does he get?
The Jets just aren't a good team, and I know it's hard for people to say that because Aaron Rodgers does not look like the old Aaron Rodgers.
Facts.
He looks like an old Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, he is kind of old, bro. It's like pushing 40, bro.
Told the world that he planned to change the
coming off a torn Achilles.
NFL franchise forever.
Since Friday, I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Just over a month later, a trade was made official, and Aaron Rodgers became the quarterback of the New York Jets. This move was supposed to fix
out of all teams, though,
and pull together an elite roster, propelling them into true contention. Today, only about 16 months later, not only has the move failed, but the team that was supposed to be saved now looks completely broken beyond repair. I mean, this is a team that is completely desperate right now, that's in search of a head coach, just has stunted young prospects, and has a commitment to a leader who either can't play at an elite level anymore, or I mean really just who simply doesn't care anymore. And in today's video, we're going to explain exactly how we got here and exactly why the New York Jets are broken.
Okay.
Are you looking for a new book?
Okay, bro. You know, so we're going to skip right over that. They not paying me, so we're going to skip that paid promotion.
Season, we really need to go back to the last few seasons and pick up all the things that have gone right, despite it being slim pickings. I mean, first they assembled one of the best overall rosters in football between shrewd
and that's my point right there, bro. They have so much talent, bro, especially on the offensive side of the ball with Garrett Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. They upgraded the offensive line. It's still been looking a little shaky, though. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Conklin's a solid tight end. They brought in Mike Williams, who has looked absolutely atrocious this year, bro. I don't know why he's looking so bad. Allen Lazard plays good with Aaron Rodgers. I feel like that's the only quarterback he can play with, for real. Then they just brought in Davante Adams, and the offense still did not look good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, after the first couple drives, you know, the offense just stalled out. They just could not do nothing. And then after the first interception, you know what I'm saying, from Aaron Rodgers, then the offense really started to spiral out of control, bro. You know what I'm saying? So something's got to be done, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whether it needs a change of offensive coordinator or they need to just completely just start rebuilding up or something like that, bro. Because there's no reason why they should have this much talent and be 2-5.
Mosley and draft home runs like Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. New York's defensive personnel was unrivaled in talent throughout the entire league. They didn't slouch on offense either, drafting Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall to support their quarterback. And at the time, these players were brought in to help support either Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson, a pair of highly touted quarterback prospects who failed to reach their ceilings in the pros. And now, yes, Sam Darnold is looking great, but in his final year in New York, Darnold was the second worst rated quarterback in football according to PFF, below backups like Nick Mullins and Mike Glennon. Wilson didn't fare much better after being drafted second overall in the 2021 draft, grading out in the bottom 10 of NFL quarterbacks in each of the 3 years that the Jets tried to build around him. Despite the struggles at the league's most important position, the rest of the team found moments of light. And I mean, one of the most contentious parts of just the New York Jets teams have been at the coaching position. Robert Saleh was brought in 2021 to rebuild the team after Adam Gase.
Yeah, some like coordinators are not really cut out to be, you know what I'm saying, head coaches, like Robert Saleh, Nathaniel Hackett, you know what I'm saying, and other coaches, so on and so on, are not really cut out to be, you know what I'm saying, head coaches and shit. They're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, good at their respective fields, whether it's offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. Like when Robert Saleh came in for the Jets, bro, the Jets always had a good defense, you know what I'm saying, but the offense was always lacking because they didn't really have a good offensive coordinator. And they brought in Nathaniel Hackett, you know what I'm saying, because of Aaron Rodgers, and he still is not even drawing up good plays, bro. So, I don't know. They got to definitely find something. Bring in Bill Belichick or something like that, yo. Like,
a good offensive coordinator.
because whatever they're trying to do is not working.
They still were showing signs of just player development and consistently growing the players that they did have. And for sure, yes, we can say that Zach Wilson, he was definitely a bust. But Garrett Wilson, on the other hand, that dude was in the conversation for being a top 10 wide receiver in the league after having back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He and Sauce Gardner won Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year in the same season, in the same year that the Jets posted a top 5 defense in both yards allowed and EPA. The Jets hoped that bringing in Aaron Rodgers would smooth out the team's ridges. And I mean, honestly, maybe it would have, but the football gods had other plans. And I mean, if you're watching this, it's going to be pretty brief because in 2023, we all know what happened. Before completing a single drive on his new team, Aaron Rodgers left the game with a torn Achilles and missed the rest of the season. In that very first game of the year, the Jets defense stepped up, forcing Josh Allen to go to overtime, scoring just 16 points before a special teams touchdown gave them a win. Those themes persisted throughout the rest of 2023, with the defense not getting much help. A lot of the blame for this was assigned to offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, who was brought in at the request of Aaron Rodgers despite having a questionable resume. And I mean, honestly, the offense was just in complete shambles. They were the 3rd worst in the league at scoring points and turned the ball over enough to drag the defense out of the top 10 scoring range. Nevertheless, the team still managed to get a respectable 7 wins with the combination of Zach Wilson, Trevor Siemian, and Tim Boyle under center. A catalyst for this resilience was running back Breece Hall, who looked great as a rookie before dropping.
Breece Lightning
accounted for more than 1,500 total yards in 2023. The final remaining weakness for this team was just their offensive line. It was really just full of players who were either injury prone or just completely in over their head. So the Jets spent their 2024 offseason focusing on patching those holes, drafting Olu Fashanu out of Penn State, but also signing Tyron Smith out of Dallas as their blindside blocker and John Simpson as their left guard. On top of that, they traded with Baltimore for right tackle Morgan Moses, a former Jet who had found his footing with the Ravens. The Jets also found themselves bringing in a couple of extra mercenaries on both sides.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Reddit is gonna do for them, bro, because I'm saying finally that contract dispute is over with.
Should have a winning record and hell, maybe even be atop the AFC East today, right? And well, as we all know, instead I'm making this video right now calling them completely broken. But what happened? Well, I mean, for starters, during the 2024 preseason, hope returned to New Jersey as Rodgers showed his health in OTAs. He did vanish during training camp on a trip to Egypt, but was excused largely based on his
trip to
status.
Egypt.
His chemistry with a team he'd only played 3 snaps for was highly touted by the media. The 4-time MVP was seemingly on track to fully return to form with an offensive play caller in Hackett that he clicked with and the best team around him that he'd arguably ever had. Early in the year, there was plenty of reason for positivity. They put up a fight against defending NFC champs San Francisco in week 1 before winning back-to-back games over the Titans and rival Patriots. The defense locked down, allowing about 20 points through 2 weeks, and the team was playing complementary football using a tandem of Breece Hall and young Braylon Allen to keep the team on their toes, while Rodgers built rapport with Garrett Wilson and tight end Tyler Conklin. Rodgers' old friend Allen Lazard also contributed early, profiting off of his old Green Bay connection. And I mean, hell, at 2-1, the Jets were on top of the world. They were favored to win a weakened AFC East, with the Bills and Dolphins both looking vulnerable, and jumped to the top 10 in Super Bowl odds for a time. Hope was flowing as the team welcomed the Denver Broncos into Meadowlands in week 4, but it was all downhill from there. Despite facing a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix, who only piloted his offense to 10 points, the Jets offense couldn't find their footing against a solid Denver defensive unit. Rodgers didn't turn the ball over, but only threw for 225 yards and couldn't convert in the red zone. Most of that did fall on the shoulders of the running game, with Hall and Allen combining for just 38 yards on 18 carries, and the Jets lost, but were still 2-2, so they just needed to bounce back while overseas in London. That game, however, would mark the end of this era of New York Jets football. Against the undefeated Minnesota Vikings, the Jets looked to their entire team to pitch in and at least make the game competitive. Instead, they dropped to a 17-point hole through the first 25 minutes, defense, never recovering. Rodgers threw 3 interceptions, one of which was returned for a touchdown, and the offense as a whole only managed 17 points. The Jets were humiliated after the showing on offense, and Woody Johnson had seen enough. Naturally, he fired the anchor of the defense
Chewed
after
and
seeing
spit
a feeling
out.
of good defense and nothing else.
Yo, now the way that
Rodgers
spelled is
occurred,
crazy.
A move which Rodgers insists he had nothing to do with. Play calling duties were
We know
also-
damn well A-Rod had everything to do with Robert Saleh getting fired, bro. Let's keep it a buck.
Packet after being
Come on
so
now.
effective, and most importantly, Joe Douglas started making a push to trade for wide receiver Davante Adams. And in their first game without Saleh, defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich took over, but it was clear pretty quickly that he wasn't bringing the same productivity on defense that Saleh had. They allowed.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't understand why the hell they let Saleh go. Like, bro, if anything, I think Nathaniel Hackett should have been the one out the door,
The
bro.
Bills team lacking a number 1 receiver, and the offense remained relatively.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
ineffective as
and
Rodgers
put
gave the ball away.
Saleh at defensive coordinator.
113-yard day from Breece Hall. Another major disappointment led to the Jets finalizing the trade to acquire Davante Adams, and now we pretty much come to what happened last weekend. Everything was exactly how Aaron Rodgers wanted it. Saleh was gone, so no one was around to challenge his decisions, and he had multiple receivers that he actually liked. So against the Steelers team that just now is starting Russell Wilson, there would be no excuses for a poor performance, right? And well, no, the Jets managed to put up probably their worst game all year, not even scoring in the second half of this game. Rodgers
Crazy.
disappointed again, throwing his 4th and 5th picks in 3 games despite his O-line only giving
Now,
up
that one wasn't on him, bro. This is a
his
perfect
4th
dot.
and 5th picks in
There's a
3
perfect
games
dot that Garrett Wilson just dropped. Like, bro, you couldn't place it any better than that, bro. Like, Garrett Wilson's got to catch that.
Line only giving up a single sack against an aggressive Pittsburgh pass rush. Rodgers did force the ball to Davante Adams, targeting him 9 times for 3 catches and 30 yards. And he continued to drag down amazing performances by Breece Hall, who accounted for over 140 total yards and a touchdown.
Damn.
As we sit right now, the Jets are currently 2-5, and after doing everything possible to make Aaron Rodgers happy, their team is in absolute shambles. So I mean, what has gone so wrong in the grand scheme of things? Right now, we've entered the phase of the season where Rodgers is blaming the media for being too critical of the team, but there are clearly
Well, how about you start playing better, nigga, and you stop getting criticized? Play better. Shit.
issues.
And stop throwing other people under the bus.
Robert Saleh was
Hey,
a
man.
huge mistake. They are going to regret that. Like, yes, even if he wasn't the coach of the future, week 5 was just way too soon. In the past
Facts.
2 weeks have made it clear that he was a lot of the reason for the Jets' defensive success. I mean, their tackling has gone down the drain since he's left, dropping below a PFF grade of 50, showing a lack of discipline in practice. Not only that too, but their pass coverage has also sunk, going from averaging a PFF grade of 73.4 to 59.8 in their last 2 games. Like, it's crazy. It can't be overstated how much it looks like Saleh boosted the defense, and the coaching change is stunting the growth of young guys like Sauce Gardner, who's gone from a top 5 corner to good but not great this year. Like, this defense was dominant, but now they're just as damaged as the rest of the team. And now the next main issue that I think everybody just needs to talk about, or at least needs more talking about, is
What?
Aaron Rodgers. He's
Oh, yeah.
healthy from his Achilles repair and recovery, but he is the shell of a quarterback of what he once was. Like, I mean, this dude's mobility is down the drain, and he is not showing any kind of chemistry with his wideouts. The Davante trade is also going to reduce target share for Garrett Wilson, which could stunt his development more than playing for the Jets already has. He's an
Hey,
excellent player.
Hey,
just
send Garrett over here to Baltimore, bro. You know what I'm saying? We'll take good care of you, bro. Come
like
on.
Breece Hall and Brady.
Send him over here.
In this mess of a situation,
Jets don't need him.
all of them will either
Since they training for Devontae Adams, bro. Because, like, let's be for real. They did not need Devontae Adams. Like, dead ass. They did not need this nigga.
and the Jets just completely throw in the towel and go on to next year and say that that will be their year. What can be done to try and repair?
Like, that was the least of their fucking worries,
Personally, for
bro.
me, I think unless Aaron Rodgers decides to just hang it up and retire, I don't think much can be done. Like, I mean, Woody Johnson is just unable to admit when he makes a mistake, and kneeling to Rodgers is now how we ended up on this side of the woods. If he doesn't, expect more of the same, with a few more passes forced to Davante before the Jets can really get out of his contract. In the post-Rodgers era, however, there may be some hope in the Meadowlands. First and most important, the coaching hole needs to be filled, but it needs to be done right. There are plenty of attractive options, including
Johnson,
offensive coordinator for the Lions.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hey, no, Todd Monken's not going anywhere, bro. Suck a dick. Ben Johnson, bro, if I were you, I would stay in Detroit. I ain't gonna lie, gang. I would stay in Detroit.
For the Ravens, and even Brian Flores of the Vikings, if they want to rebuild their defensive identity. Regardless, though, there are real options for the next head
Todd
coach.
Monken is not going anywhere,
The
bro.
job is unattractive.
No.
While Rodgers remains the quarterback. Like, I mean, once he's gone, and assuming that too much talent hasn't walked out the door already, the new coach will be able to build around Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Garrett Wilson, the Williams brothers, and Sauce Gardner on top of others. Focusing on that young talent is the only hope the Jets have left, but they have done so much damage by moving on from Saleh's defensive mind and allowing Aaron to run the offense. Wilson and Gardner specifically don't look like the same players this year, and they'll need help to reclimb the mountain. Finally, that brings us to the quarterback position, because if Aaron Rodgers does leave, they're still going to need a quarterback. Not another mercenary veteran, but a real prospect.
I mean, they already got somebody in Jordan Travis. People forget that they drafted him. And like, people forget, before he broke his leg, bro was in the Heisman conversation. You know what I'm saying? So they pretty much got their franchise guy already.
Into a franchise player. And like, I mean,
But people just don't pay attention to that.
And the Jets will likely hold a top 10 pick. Whether they pull the trigger this season or next is in flux, but what is undeniable is that the New York Jets will need to spend more time in evaluation. All of Zach Wilson's allure came from his pro day, which convinced New York that he had a high ceiling regardless of his flaws. And I mean, simply put, this cannot happen again if the Jets expect to change their destiny. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Aaron Rodgers can steer the ship right, and maybe
I don't know, bro.
make the
I don't
playoffs
know.
despite them being 2-5 right now? Honestly,
It's gonna be tough
who
for real.
needs to go? He cannot be mobile. He cannot make plays outside of the pocket anymore. Like, personally, for me, I think he just needs to be done. The Achilles took basically what his best thing was, and that was making plays outside of the pocket.
Facts.
How many plays outside of the pocket have we seen Aaron Rodgers make this year? Not many. By my
Like,
by
and bro,
my book, that's all.
and bro is ruining his Hall of Fame status too, bro. Like, just go ahead and retire. You know what I'm saying? Cause you gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but you gonna end up ruining that shit if you keep playing dog shit, gang.
Again, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. If you guys can, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to let me know that keep doing videos just like this. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one.
Hey man, I want to know what you guys think, you know what I'm saying, down in the comments below about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers and all this shit, you know what I'm saying, and let me know what other NFL videos y'all want me to react to. Without further ado, I'm out. Yeah.